Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well out there. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live from Lawrenceville, Georgia, this Sunday morning, you guys. I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody had a great weekend. So today, first I want to pay homage to Biz Marquis, his family. My condolences. We lost a great one, lost a great soldier, you guys. You guys in here by now. The legendary Biz Marquis passed away the other day. And for those of you who don't know who he was actually a rapper, right? He made one of the famous songs called Make the Music with Your Mouth, Biz. He actually was a human beatbox, man. He really took his talents all over the world. And in the good book says that our talents will make room for us and put us in front of great men. And Biz did that, man. He performed in front of, dignitary, all types of people all over the world, making music with his mouth, right? So again, my heart goes out and my condolences to his family as well as his millions of fans, you guys. And that's kind of the topic, paying homage to Biz, that I want to talk about this morning, right? So my question is, what music are you making with your mouth, right? I remember in high school, again, when Biz used to come around and pass out flyers to all the parties that was going on, right? On the flyer, he used to have, "I am the human beatbox." Now, this was in the 80s, you guys, when Biz wasn't as popular, right? He was just kind of popular in a local area. We all knew him, right? But he used to have on the flyers, "I am the human beatbox." So my question to you is, what have you written down that says "I am," right? What is your music, right? What are you trying to convey, or what are you wanting to convey to people about who you are, right? So what I want you to do for this week coming up is I want you to write down some "I am" statements, right? I am beautiful. I am intelligent. I am a millionaire, right? Because I want you to get in your consciousness, right? Just the fact of moving it from there to the paper. And then as you start to speak it, "I am," it starts to get embedded in your subconscious, you guys, because there's something powerful about the "I am" statements. Like anything that kind of comes after "I am," right? It really hones in on the universe to allow those things to happen. Now, sometimes we're not sure, or we tend to look over to the left or look over to the right and watch other people and try to mimic what they're doing and who they are. But the question is, who are you? Who am I, right? And sometimes we don't want to face what that answer is, right? So if you want to change that narrative on how people perceive you per se, right? That sometimes, unfortunately, creates our own reality, unfortunately. Start to write down who you feel you are, right? Don't get caught up in who they say you are, because the most important thing is, who do you say that you are, right? Because when you change, you guys, people around you start to change and treat you differently, right? So on this week coming up, on behalf of Biz, in terms of, making music with his mouth, right? What's your music, right? What is our music? What do we have to offer society, right? In that same book that I read, it talks about somewhere in Proverbs that life or death, you guys, life or death is in the power of the tongue. Just think about that. Your life, my life, or death is in the power of our tongue, right? And Biz Marquis, he demonstrated that, right? He demonstrated that by utilizing his power of his tongue, literally. And he said, "Make the music with your mouth, Biz," right? He took that power and changed the course of his family, right? My younger brother was out at his house the other day. He was doing a Facebook Live, and he was right on Noble Street in Brentwood at the house that Biz grew up in, right? Just kind of shooting a Facebook Live, right? Now, that's the house that Biz grew up in. It was no longer the house that he lived in, right? Why? Because his music, the power was in his mouth. And he utilized it, you guys. He utilized what his creator gave him to move from where he was at, right? Again, so sometimes we get caught up in where we are. That's not really it, right? It's where we're going and how many people can we help along the way, right? So I ask you, right? What music are you making with your mouth? What are you saying? What's coming out of your mouth, you guys? What are you believing? What are you hearing? What are you articulating? Why? Because that determines your future, right? Jim Rohn he says it all the time. He says imagination is the closest thing to reality. So just think about it, you guys. If you can take your imagination, things that you think when you're by yourself, right, that you have not articulated to nobody. If you could take your imagination and write it down, the things that you think about. He says, your imagination is the closest thing to reality. The book says there's power. There's power, right? In your tongue, life or death. It's power. Habakkuk says, write the vision and make it plain, right? So just think about that for a moment, you guys. If you take what you can imagine, it's close to reality. And if you can articulate it, right, speak it, and then you can write it down and put an I am behind that, right? And now your music starts to change, meaning that the things that you speak, how you talk to people, your conversation, how you converse, how you feel,